Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new entitled people content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled I'm Technically on the Clock. Just not for here. Had a run-in with a Karen before COVID that thought I was an employee of a sandwich shop while I was waiting in line. Warning up front, I'm kinda long-winded. For context, I worked going door to door for a utility company at the time with a team of 5. We all dress the same in black with our company logos, and in bad weather we have very warm matching raincoats also with the logo. We also have badges with our names on them and the company's info so people know we aren't random grifters. On this particular day in my area there was a downpour so bad that it was one of only 2 times in 4 years that our leadership decided to pull us out of the field. As this is rare, we don't really have a protocol in place and we get told to hunker down nearby with the company van to see if it gets better before they send us home for the day or back out. Due to this, we decide to check out a small sandwich shop one of the guys swears is the best in the area. All of us, being wet and hungry, think this sounds great and head right on over to get some food while still on the clock and getting paid till we hear back. Place is small but looks decent, also part convenience store. They don't have a counter you order at but an employee that walks around and takes orders, and with someone already talking to him I know it's gonna be a min until all 5 of us get our orders in, so I elect to go last and check around the store as I'm in no hurry. After looking around I see my coworkers have all had their orders in, so I go up to do mine. Due to this, my order is done last and has a bit of a delay. My 4 coworkers are all sitting down and starting to eat at this point while I wait for my sandwich when an older lady walks up to me and starts saying a sandwich order without as much as a hello. I cut her off to say, "Oh, I don't work here," to which I get the confusing reply, "So you're working, you just don't work here?" Sure. And an eye roll followed by her starting her order again. I respond by simply putting my hand up to cut her off, point to the logo on my jacket, which is still soaked by the way, and ask, "Does this look like the store's name to you?" I don't remember if she said anything back, but my order got announced at this point, so I stepped away, grabbed my sandwich and smiled at her as I walked by her again to sit with the 4 people dressed identically to me that were already eating and dig in. Now you'd think this would be the end of it with me just eating my sandwich while basking in Karen's indignation, but no. She stomped off and finds the proper person to speak with, drags him back into view and starts complaining about me to him while he desperately tries to explain that I don't work there. By the time we finished eating and were leaving I still don't think she had placed an order. The next story is titled Why I Hate Shopping. I had just got off work and needed to buy groceries for the week. I'm a professional, dressed in suit and tie. As I'm a bit over 6 feet, I'm often asked to get things off upper shelves for shorter shoppers. If asked nicely, 99.9% do ask nicely, I'm glad to help. That 0.1% though. I was asked by a grandmotherly looking lady, maybe 4 feet 10 inches, if I'd please get something she couldn't reach. She was very sweet, said thank you and went on her way after I got it for her. At that point a very rude man, maybe 5 feet 2 inches, yelled from one half down the aisle to come get this for him. He made it sound like an order, no please or anything. I ignored his. This pissed him off, so he gets louder and begins cursing very loudly. I walk past him, just doing my shopping and ignoring his outburst. He says, "Hey dumb crap, I'm talking to you." I stop and tell me he needs to lower his voice. He gets even louder saying, "You helped her, now ducking help me." I turn and say she was nice and polite, "You're a jerk, so no." At that point he screams for my manager. I break up laughing. He gets ever louder. I ask, when did this store's employees start wearing suits? People are watching at this point. I strat to walk away, but this jerk grabs my arm and tries to pull me around, serious short man syndrome. Sadly, I have a severe case of PTSD from S situation when I was a teen. I spin around and punch him his the face. Didn't mean to, but it's a reflex to being bullied. He goes down, bleeding from his now broken nose. People are rushing over, I'm beside myself saying I'm sorry. He gets up screaming about having me arrested. I guess someone called the cops or they were in the store as they appeared in what seemed like seconds. He tells them I just walked up and punched him. A couple dozen witnesses tell what really happened. One officer goes to watch the security video. When he gets back, he asks me if I want to press charges for assault. This guy freaks out, takes a swing at a police officer. He's arrested, charged with assault, assault against a law enforcement officer, and public vulgarity. Didn't know there is a law about that. Found out at the trial this is his 4th time being arrested for similar offenses and that he's been banned from 4 other stores in the area. As a repeat offender, he received 6 years in state prison and a $10,000 fine. I last heard his wife divorced him as well. The next story is entitled Hotel Guest Parks Their Truck in a Non-Parking Spot While Blocking Others In. Recently stayed at a hotel for a friend's wedding. Morning after the wedding, my so and I went to our car to drive home. Our car was parked at the end of the lot and there was a car parked next to ours, so the only way to get out is to back out. Of course, there is a pickup truck parked behind our car and the car next to ours. There is some space, but not enough to get out. Even in our tiny Prius. Mind you, the pickup truck is parked in a spot that is not an actual parking spot. They just decided to park in a random spot while blocking people in. They also parked a few feet away from the curb on the other side. If they had simply parked closer to the curb, we would have had enough room to maneuver out. I go to the hotel front desk to let them know. They come out and write down the license plate to see if they can match it with the sheets people provide with vehicle information. No luck there, so they asked me if I would be willing to wait until they reached out to people who had checked in since we checked in the previous day who did not leave vehicle information. I told them absolutely not. We were already delayed 20 to 25 minutes, so not going to wait around for who knows how much longer because some entitled jerk decided to park wherever they felt like. Asked them to get a tow truck as soon as possible. Tow truck came in about 10 minutes and we were on our way to pick up our dog. The next story is titled Guy Unloads His Cart on a Closed Lane and is Confused I'm Not Helping Him. This happened just earlier today. I work multiple jobs, and on my free time from my main job, I deliver for Shipt. Now Shipt has a uniform for their drivers, but they don't require us to wear them. So, note, I am wearing a rainbow striped tank top, blue jean shorts, and flip-flops. I just finished shopping for a customer at Target and had just processed the order. Target is nice enough to have a stand with lots of bags for Shipt drivers to bag their ordered groceries. In this Target, it was a closed register lane. As I'm bagging my order, in a lane with a sign on the conveyor belt that says, "Closed," a guy starts to unload his cart onto the unmoving belt. I look to him with confusion, and he is giving me the same look. I'm wondering why he placed his stuff on a clearly closed belt, and he's wondering why I'm not scanning his stuff. I mean, I get it. I clearly look like a Target employee, what with my red shirt, rainbow striped, nice long brown pants, blue jean shorts, and closed-toe work shoes, flip-flops. He then speaks up saying, "Aren't you going to scan my stuff?" I, confused, say, "Dude, this register is closed, and I don't work here." I can see the gears turning in his head as he finally notices the "closed" sign in my clearly not Target outfit. He says nothing as he reloads his cart and goes to an open register. I chuckled as I left the store. I mean, I get it. On autopilot, you see a person's presence behind a register and assume that you can go there without looking at the details of your surroundings. It was still funny. The next story is titled Got Followed Around by a Customer and Some Cops While Shopping. This is kinda long, but I work at a grocery store that has a certain red circle store right next door to it. During breaks I occasionally go there just to get a snack and checking out the gaming and toy section and maybe even clothing. I take the same path every time and even made sure to wear a gray hoodie to cover up my uniform. I was listening to music in my headphones and minding my business when I saw 2 officers walking at the same time as me but on the opposite end of the aisle. We ended up going to the same gaming aisle and I was browsing merchandise while they were looking at games. I saw stuff that I wanted to buy and grabbed them and searched for a price scanner. When I found one and started scanning, a woman came up and used the guest service phone right next to me. Didn't think anything of it then. I went to go put some items back on the shelf and I saw the 2 cops looking at me and I was confused and took out my headphones. Apparently this woman followed me trying to ask me if the phone worked and I said I wouldn't know 'cause I don't work here, and actually worked next door. The officers tried asking me if I could help them find a game and I told them that too. I mentioned that I couldn't hear anything with my headphones on, so I wasn't responding obviously. The woman got mad, probably embarrassed, and tried to act like it wasn't a big deal. I was annoyed and kinda pissed the rest of the trip. I bought my stuff and left, but I was thinking about it the rest of the day. IDK if that was all coincidence or something else, cuz I understand if some people confuse employees from time to time, but it felt like I was being accused of something while I was rockin' out to my weeb music and minding my business. The next story is titled Black Shirt? You Must Work Here. Friday, after work, I was grocery shopping. I had been on a diet for 2 to 3 months now, meaning I can't have sugary things, ice cream, donuts, cookies, etc. The sugar-free items are expensive, so I would often go without. This week, however, the chocolate sugar-free ice cream was on sale. One small problem though. I'm 5'0". The last container of sugar-free ice cream was shoved into the back shelf. So, I began looking for an employee. After 10 minutes of looking, I gave up on finding an employee. So, I decided to ask the cashier to get an employee to get it when I check out. Passing the frozen food section, I see a man in a black golf shirt in the distance, back towards me. The store I frequent have black golf shirts as a uniform with a green logo. There is also a Toyota factory in town with the same black golf shirt, but with a red logo. I jogged over to the man to ask him to grab the ice cream. However, he turned around. Red logo. Me. Oh crap. I thought you were an employee. Man. Laughing, don't worry. I get this all the time if I wear my uniform here. At least you noticed I don't work here before asking me where something is or to grab something off the top shelf. Me. I am so sorry, have a nice day. I went to the checkout line, asked for someone to reach the top shelf, and got my ice cream. The next story is titled Guy Attempted to Assault Me Because I Didn't Deliver to Him First. This happened literally 2 days ago. So I work for one of many self-employable delivery apps that deliver food for various restaurants. On this particular day, I had gotten assigned to orders that were relatively close to each other. So I picked up the first order and get the second too. The first order, of course, gets dropped off first. It took me about 10 minutes to get to the first address and drop off the order. Except I couldn't drop it off immediately since I had to hand it to the customer. This took an additional 5 minutes since it took them forever to answer the door. Once that had been completed, I was on the way to the next address. So I get to the next house to drop off this order, and this one also requests that I hand it directly to the customer. So I go to knock on the door and the following encounter ensues. A lady answers the door, about 5 feet 8 inches. She was a bit taller than me, blonde and kinda youngish looking. She has this look on her face like I was someone who had just kicked a puppy or something. She crosses her arms and says, "Lady, took you long enough. We saw you go all over the place except her to drop our food off. Care to explain?" I was kinda shocked, but using my best customer service voice, replied. Me. Sorry, ma'am. I had been assigned 2 orders and I was instructed to go the first order first since it was closer, I assume. If there is an issue, you can contact, insert delivery app's name, support, and they can try to work with you. She was not happy by this. She then tells me that she wants her order remade and wants it for free. Or she will call the restaurant and have me fired. She had been very rude to this point and I really don't want to help her farther. Me. Ma'am. I don't work for the restaurant. I am an independent contractor. I am so sorry. But there is nothing I can do. After that statement, she became irate. She started to clap her hands and she told me, "Okay. You wait right here. I got something for you." I decided it's time to leave. Before I could completely get off the front porch, her husband came out. She was wearing a wedding ring, so I only assumed at the time. This would be confirmed later. He is at least 6 feet even and started to scream at me to hold it right there. Now for further context, I have trained in multiple martial arts and self-defense for years. I heard this man come out and yell. I immediately turned to face him because you never want someone who is potentially aggressive to have your back. I am still backing up, but now I have turned to face him, only feet away. He started advancing towards me. "You are going to get us our ducking refund or else," he screamed. I replied with the same statement I told the lady, but in a softer tone to attempt to de-escalate this man. As I am in mid-sentence, he pushed me back hard. As soon as he had pushed me, my instinct and training kick in. As I regained my footing, I didn't get knocked down. I squared my stance and put my hands up to my face in case he tried to swing on me. I started to yell back at the guy and ordered him not to get any closer or put his hands on me. This was my warning. He then threw a wild punch that I slipped back with a lean and then countered with a front kick to his stomach. This landed flush, confirmed by the most notable, oof, sound I have heard many times before. He folded slightly, exposing his face. So I followed up with a 1-2 as trained. After eating a 1-2, he fell to one knee. I moved back slightly to disengage and told him to stay down so I can leave. Once again, you never just turn back on an aggressor. He got up, red in the face. He screamed at me, "Duck you. I'll kill you," and attempted to charge me. He threw another wild punch and another. I ate one, but slipped and ducked under the second to get around take his back. From here, I attempted to wrestle him down. He kept trying to punch me and even elbowed me once in the face before I was able to trip him and take him down. I did my best to pin him, no hooks in case he picked me up and slammed me, but wasn't successful until he rolled towards me and I mounted him. He is mad. "I will ducking kill you. Get the duck off me." He tried to bench press me off of him and almost got up a couple times. He was strong. I told him I am not getting off until he calms down. Now he started to punch, scratch, and bite me. In response, I give a good couple hammerfist to get him to cover up. And once he did, I got higher on his chest to pin his arms to his head. We remained there until the cops came. Once they arrived, they ordered me off him and put me in cuffs. I was put in a squad car until a cop came to get my statement and asked me what happened. I explained how they wanted a refund and I couldn't give it to them since I am just a delivery driver. The cop told me the wife called and said I threatened her and was assaulting her husband on their front lawn. He asked me if I had any way to prove my side. Lucky for me, I have a dashcam in my car. I left the windows down. The cam caught some of the action from the front door on video and the rest caught on audio of him demanding a refund, threatening me telling him to back off, some of audio off the struggle, him telling me he was going to kill me and even me telling him to calm down. Apparently, a neighbor across the street had a Ring camera and it also captured the incident with video and some audio. The cops then let me go. They got my info and told me that my story seemed straight. I pressed charges on him and was told by the cops they would call me if they had more questions. The next story is titled "Technically I did work there, just not today." I worked the third shift as a cashier, and we didn't get many customers. We got even fewer customers who would cross into different shifts, customers who would come in later or earlier than usual. I almost always do my grocery shopping in the afternoon on my day off. I came into my work to do my shopping in a yellow shirt, jean shorts, and sandals. The uniform of the place was a company-provided shirt, black pants, and closed-toed shoes. Maybe this lady recognized me by my hair since I was one of the few workers with unnaturally dyed hair. As I'm walking across the front of the store pushing a cart, a customer comes out of a cashier line and asks me how to fix something. I look at her very confused, and I ask her what she meant, and she repeats herself. The cashier who had taken care of her gets involved and tells her that if she needs something, she needs to go to customer service, not harass other customers. It turns out that the cashier refused to give the customer a discount on something, and the customer wanted to complain and get her discount. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.